With mechanics that call to mind glory days of Diner Dash and Cooking Mama, Tailside is a no-pressure way to enjoy building relationships with the local townsfolk while running your own little coffee cafe. Welcome to this honest review of Tailside. If you'd like to see more reviews of up-and-coming and early access games, remember to subscribe. Without further ado, let's hop right in. Now, bear in mind that Tailside is still in the playtesting phase. As such, everything is subject to possible change. There are also a lot of features that have yet to be added or were missing from the final playtest itself, so we won't be discussing missing features or bugs as negatives, since those are expected in this stage of development. Tailside features a warm palette and plucky, bright music that reminded me personally of a little town on an Italian coastline. The soundtrack is definitely not done, but it boasts sweet piano and effective call and response motifs throughout the track. Tailside shows off a 2D pixel style replete with warm browns and creams that do a lot to accent the coffee theme of the game. The animations are sweet and fluid, but the walking animation can feel a bit floaty at times due to characters not having rear views and the foot movement differing from the distance traveled with each step. In Tailside, we play a latte brown fox who is the proud new owner of a coffee cafe. At this time, we don't know much else about the story, but in the playtest, we have assistance with learning how to perform our basic tasks, such as making coffee and decorating the cafe. This assistance comes from the two characters we've met so far, a rabbit named Layla and a dog, I think, named Toffee. The character designs are very cute and fit well into the game's art style and palette. Their personalities weren't super clear or defined in the playtest, but the developer, Coffee Beans Dev on Twitter, made it clear that their playtest was created purely for the purpose of bug testing, so I doubt it's an accurate depiction of how the characters will behave in Tailside's full release. Tailside's primary feature is fulfilling orders for a wide variety of coffee types. In the playtest, 3 were available: espresso, macchiato, and decorated lattes. The coffee making system, or minigame as the developer calls it, is pretty simple right now, with an easy-to-understand interface and dynamic indicators to show players what they have and haven't done. It allows them to do tasks in almost any order, barring unreasonable things like somehow boiling the beans before they've been put in the grinder. It even allows players to keep hot milk on the stove for when it's needed. If I'm totally honest, I expected to get sick of it pretty quickly while playing the playtest, and I was surprised when I didn't. It's not monotonous or grueling enough to get on the nerves, and the timing is well aligned, allowing it to remain quaint and passive. We can also read character dialogue while making the coffee. The ability to choose when we do a given step in the process also prevents it from simply becoming a rote series of button clicks. And though it's unnecessary for now, we also have a recipe book that will come in handy once there are more coffee types to make. While the coffee making system is cute, and I'm eager to see it evolve as we gain more coffee types to make, it's not perfect. The orders list at the top of the screen is useful, but espresso and macchiato are visually identical aside a slight hue difference in the coffee itself, making them hard to distinguish at a glance or for visually impaired players. We can hover over them to read the name of the coffee, but it's not a convenient solution, especially for those who struggle to tell them apart. A major feature of coffee making is pouring cute cream designs into lattes. I was really excited for this feature, but unfortunately its current system is a bit of a letdown. First, players have the option of 2 modes, scoring mode and unscored mode. The scoring isn't transparent and can be a bit fickle. Sometimes fully filling in the design only nets players a 99% score, and other times we can complete only half the design and still get 100%. The bonus of scoring mode is monetary. We receive approximately 20 additional gold for a score of 100%, with less reward for lower percentages. In addition to the scoring system being unreliable, the actual cream pouring feels really clunky. I found myself kind of trying to figure out which pattern was fastest so that I could get it over with, rather than going for the one that I thought was cutest, since doing the pour isn't optional. The thickness of the line seems to be determined by the speed of your mouse movement, but it's unreliable at best, and drawing a thick line is an incredibly slow process. Additionally, pouring a large dollop and then dragging away quickly leaves behind a thinning line, which makes sense, but there doesn't seem to be any way to get a line of any consistent thickness. I'm not really sure how Coffee Beans managed to get the perfect line thickness so easily for their previews of the feature. I tried a lot of different methods and none of them worked very well. Additionally, players periodically need to sort coffee beans, selecting only the best for their brews, which really effectively mirrors real gourmet coffee making. There's no challenge at all to this task, and the time between needing to do it is determined by how many cups of coffee are brewed. We can't manually trigger it, and there's no penalty for needing to do it between 2 cups, nor is there a way to put it off at expense of lower pay for sales until it's been done. If customers had patience limits, such as in Diner Dash, this mechanic would make more sense, but as things are now, it just feels like a meaningless task that sometimes needs doing. Additionally, completing it automatically fills the bean grinder, which led to some confusion on my part. Another major feature of Tailside is decorating your cafe. There are already a variety of flooring and counter types, quite a few potted plants, and multiple decor sets emerging. They're highly varied, and each is bound to cater effectively to a broad group of decorators. I'm personally eager to see what else is added to each decor set, and which new sets are added as Tailside's development continues. The build mode UI is simple and easy to understand, though the colored shadow to indicate if an item can be placed or not, green for placeable and red for blocked, can be easily obscured by large items or by other items if the player wants to place their item north of the other one, such as in the case of placing a chair above a table. Additionally, and I'm not sure if this is a bug or just an oversight, but players cannot pan around the cafe using WASD if they're hovering over an item in their build mode inventory. The final big feature that we currently have access to is cleaning up cups within the cafe. Cups only affect cleanliness at this time, which determines if customers will enter or stay in the cafe. Cleaning up cups keeps the cafe's cleanliness up, but it doesn't appear that we're able to run out of cups in the coffee brewing system, which would be a nice addition to the game. Cleaning up cups is pretty quick and easy to do with an added bonus. If multiple cups are within range of being picked up, a single click will clean them all up at once. The cups that are in range are clearly marked with an easy-to-see white outline. More is on the way in Tailside, and the developer is constantly taking feedback and running polls on Twitter. They've also recently started a crowdfunding campaign for the game, link below, with plenty of goodies to claim for those who support its development. Tailside has a lot of potential to be a super relaxing cafe sim game, perfect for winding down with after Savage Raids in Final Fantasy or working on the Fortnite grind. Coffee lovers and decorators alike will rejoice at its decoration options and plethora of upcoming coffee recipes. Tailside is still so early in its development, but it's more than worth keeping an eye on. Perhaps we'll revisit it once it releases in early access. If you like the idea of a cozy cafe sim full of coffee and animal friends, wishlist Tailside on Steam and go support the developer, Coffee Beans Dev, on Twitter. Both links are in the description below. Thank you so much for joining me for this honest review, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one.